I just had something pop into my head that just makes me want to giggle the entire time.
What?
So I used to listen to a podcast called The Thrilling Adventure Hour,
Yeah.
and one of them was a radio show called Sparks Nevada, Marshall on Mars.
Okay.
And like every episode, it was like last time on Sparks Nevada.
Uh,
And
I
that
keep
just
wanting,
happened.
yeah, I keep wanting to take a photo of an electric company out here called Sparky
Yes, do.
and sending it to you or putting it in the Discord because, like, I don't know. I figured that's that's hilarious. So last I can remember, and I think I briefly checked up on it. You guys arrived in front of a nightclub
Mhm.
at the behest of both um, Nikolai and I think Betty.
Yeah, we already talked to her. Yep.
Yeah,
I
because
was
her
about to say, I
niece
don't remember
went
her name.
missing. Her niece Jessica went missing, and she hasn't seen her. Um, I believe it's Betty's niece. I might have my notes wrong, but it's a niece of someone. Um, one of a few requested tasks from Nikolai, since you guys owe him quite a few credits.
Mm-hmm.
And you show up on the downtown section of Wharfburg, as it is slightly more rundown, but it's not quite as rundown as it might seem. As with the photo, it's got those neon lights. It's got a few updated locations here and there, some trying to keep up with the newer sections of the city. Some that are trying to stay a little more rustic or nostalgic for the uh, natives of the city and locals of the state. Some areas, of course, darker than others. And you showed up getting off of the tran or the trolley off of the, I believe, one of the higher floor or higher levels of the city state. So aside from the blocked off sidewalk that you're on, or the barricaded sidewalk, there's a quite of a tumble down if you were to misstep. But the trolley, but there are things put up to help keep passerbyers, pedestrians and trolley passengers alike safe from any kind of accident.
An invisible wall.
Probably more like a one of those glass balcony balcony dividers from like a mall that we would see. It's got that black or brown railing, and then it's got the see-through glass below, or plastic, depending on
how uppity the neighborhood is.
Right. Yep. Some areas where it's got more money to spend and
it's glass, and areas it's plexiglass.
Yeah, can afford to replace it more often if it gets broken, or if they can't replace it too often, it's the plastic or plexiglass or some other, maybe just or metal wire fence. You staring up at a what looks like a 2-story club. It might have been something else at some point, but it the windows are wide enough, and it's looked like it's always been a retail housing of some sort. It's never been an apartment or a house, or it's always been some kind of a furnished place, furniture, clothing, some kind of place where it's displayed. Now the windows are all blackened, and it's a nightclub. There is some noise that is coming out from the speakers in front, but it's very, very low as to keep with the sound ordinances of the day. Though you're sure it's probably not much louder at night, but it is the business district. It's not like there's too many places one could rent out a space, although there probably is, because it's, people need money, and if one can't make business out of a place, they can at least renovate it for housing. There is a sign out front that says the club's name. Oh wait, this is a sketchbook. This isn't what I want. And that is, as soon as I can find it.
Oh, crap.
Oh, it's sitting in front of me. Hang on, let me turn to the right page. It would be good if you had the name.
You told us
taking
the
notes.
name. Oh, biscuits. It was a bird. It was about a bird.
No, it's the Laughing Docks.
Laughing Duck.
Where was something was a bird last time.
Gray Swan.
Yeah, I think so.
That's where the Ivory Beards stay. That's the tavern-esque place that you left Nikolai.
Oh. I remembered the very beginning.
Yeah, the I think you were you here last time? Yeah, I don't think we've gamed without you much.
You did one.
Huh?
You did one time, but that was
Yeah.
That
It was a while ago, yeah.
Uh-huh.
So the Laughing Docks, the lights are neon, not annoying, but probably less than tasteful. It's pink, and it's got like a smiley face that kind of rotates upside down in its neon animated way.
So it's constantly rotating?
No, you'll see like a yellow smiley face, and then you'll see it turn upside down. So it's like,
So it flashes back and forth.
yeah, it's I'm sorry, when I say neon, yes, it's the lights, it's the tubes. So you'll see the smiling face, and then you'll see another one where it's sort of turned, and then you'll see another one where it's even turned even more, and then it'll light up in its final form as upside down, and then it'll start over. So it's got 4 different light up sections, but they're all tubes and stuff. So
Right.
you can, in the day it's clear, you can see all 4 sections, but you think at night, if it's dark enough, just seeing the lights, it would be a decent rotation.
Right.
Yeah, and right outside the front door, the blackened door, no lights, I'm sorry, no glass, it's just a black door. There's a piece of paper hanging outside the front of it.
Aha. Well, I approach the front door and take a look at the paper.
It's a for hiring sign. It's mostly typed up. Some of it's written, some of the information that might have been forgotten afterwards, like the phone number. And the spelling is a little off. It's could use a proof edit, but it didn't make it to that. So it's yeah, not exactly. The only thing that looks really neat and really nice is the logo of the place. and it's
Mhm.
probably a PDF saved for any purpose.
Right. Interesting. Okay.
And it's saying, the minimum credits per hour plus, potential for making so much per night with tips, and it's basically a server position. Though it can set, a little bit more than just normal serving.
Right. Yeah.
You're a bottle service worker.
Mm-hmm.
And
All right. Well,
Greg is kind of looking the place over and just kind of not exactly someplace I would hang out, but I don't know. Maybe the inside's better.
maybe. Let's go on in.
Okay. You try the handle and it kind of turns. It's got a good, firm grasp.
All right. Is it just stuck or is it
It's locked.
locked?
It's locked from the inside, but not through the handle.
Right.
What do you do?
Knock on the door.
Okay. So knocking. What's up?
I was gonna say, or we could call the number.
Could call the number. Yeah, it's true.
You hear the echoes of the door, bang, 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 as you knock. Waiting.
All right. Well, let's call the number.
Okay, who makes the call?
I can make the call.
You're gonna make the call through your new chip?
Yep.
Okay. It's an 11-digit number. And through the mic in your ring, I believe you have the ring, right?
Yeah.
Okay. Hear a voice. Yeah? Who's there?
Hi. Yes. I was just wondering if I could talk to the manager.
Does he?
Yeah, I see you have a sign out here saying that you're looking for a server.
Yeah.
Is
Kind of hesitates.
I'm actually outside right now, and I was wondering if I could come up if I could talk to somebody right now. Is anybody here?
Line is silent for a minute. I'll be out in just a sec.
Okay.
And the call ends with that. And after a minute or two,
Reminder: we're here to see if she's here, right? What was I
We're
can't remember
trying
what
to
our
find out what happened to her. So the club was the last seen place.
last place she was seen. Okay.
Yes. Thank you.
yes, very much. You hear a what sounds like a bolt on the other side, and a few other noises. Maybe a number key
Yeah.
going on, and then the door opens and it swings out towards you. And he goes, steps out, blinking lights. Obviously a lot dimmer inside. Can I? You're interested in the job?
Yes.
Well, I gotta say, not quite what we're used to, but come inside, come inside. He does not want to stand out there very long.
Right.
And you two go in. It is dark. It is very dark. Almost immediately, like your was elven eyes, half elven.
Elf, I think.
Do you have elf, Chris? Elf eyes?
Yes.
Okay. I just want to make sure, double check.
Yep,
Um,
straight up elf. Yep.
okay. So you're able to see, though it does seem a little like on the darker side. Because you're able to see dim light easily enough. But there are certain areas where it's even darker than that. You could almost say that it was, um, pitch black. Um, Perhaps, caters to more than just humanoids. Um,
Right.
and of course, Ginger, your dude. I am forgetting your guys' name. Kronk.
Fuck.
Kronk, you have no problem. You walk in, it's the same, basically. Though you do have a slight a night vision type. Your eyes sort of everything kind of turns into a certain greenish hue. Anything that you can't see that you're pretty sure your half elven eyes were not going to be able to pick up has a green hue around it, outlining it. Kind of like we would see in video games. It's got like a little light green outlining it, depicting what it is. Everything else is kind of relatively normal. Um, so obviously with your new abilities, you don't really need to adjust and blink your way into the dark. And he is walking around. You see one, maybe two employees getting things either cleaned up from the last night or set up for today, maybe both. Um, Bartender behind the bar back, and somebody cleaning off tables. He says, "I'm not really um, used to hiring males."
Oh,
But
yeah.
we've had one or two, and you can see the bar back is male, but the bartender is female, or at least female presenting, and the person wiping off the tables is also female presenting.
Oh, yes. Well, I am really good and personable with people.
Gotcha. Well, and
And
he
then
comes up.
I mentioned my friend. What was her name again? The girl we're looking for.
Her name is Jessica.
My friend Jessica said that this was a really great bar to come work for.
He kind of coughs and clears his throat. Really, Jessica mentioned that. Cool.
Yeah. When does she work next?
Oh, I think she quit just the other day. I haven't really seen her.
Oh, well, that's interesting.
You know these young types, they find someone, fall in love, and all of a sudden they're too good for this job.
Did she have someone new in her life?
It was some dude that came around. Don't see him either. He's
Hmm.
yeah, he was like new out of town, took a, liking to her, showed up one night and they had to get after her. She wasn't really paying attention to the other customers and told her to, if they were going to be serious, to keep it from, out of here, but I guess she took it a little too literally.
Huh. Interesting.
Yep.
Is this
Because
normal? Because I don't. It might have been a little bit since I've talked to her. It doesn't really seem like her.
I don't know, that's just how most of the people, kids around here are. Goes over to
Oh,
the ends of the table and kind of stops and lifts a finger up at the bartender. She immediately goes to work making his favorite. You want something to drink?
no, I'm good for now.
Okay, how about you?
No, thank you.
All right. Anyhow, so you done much work in public service?
I've done a lot of work. You could say that most of my life has been in the service of people.
Nice, nice. Um, as you are walking in, or as you've, you know, arrived at the end of the bar, it's the far end of the bar. It's the bar is kind of like an L shape. So if you were to have walked in straight, you would have probably run into the curved part of it.
Uh-huh.
And he, of course, walked you down the whole aisle so you could get a good look of the entire bar. And behind him is there's a couple of doors. Um, one that you see the bar back going in and out of, and you hear like dishes being cleaned in the back, hinting at the washroom. And next to that is a dark hallway. Um, there's a sign next to the door that says employees only, and you figure that's the down that hall might be the head office where he does, they do all of their computing and stuff, and then down that across that way from just other side of the hall, there's that wall that goes all the way through the back. There's a stage, is probably for DJs. There's a pole on either side of that stage, probably for dancing, maybe for hired dancers or other. There is of course, the main dance floor covered in tiles. There are lines between the tiles that light up. The tiles themselves are kind of a dark slate gray, and but the lights in between color light up in random colors: blues, pinks, purple, green, yellow, white, and just alternating at different intervals slowly. Probably would go in time with the music if there was any loud enough. There's a second floor that is open. Maybe at one point there was rafters and it was a ceiling, but it's been opened up, and you can see like booths on the outside perimeter of the building. And these are not your dining booths, these are VIP booths. There's a clear divider in front of each one, and then there's a door in each one. So the entrance is from the back. It's not high class like the tavern that you guys are in, where there's like a lot of levitating stuff. You can tell that there's probably a stairway somewhere, probably in one of the dark corners. It could be down that hallway that you are real next to. People get escorted up and can have a VIP room with VIP service. Most of the dance floor is pretty empty. There are a couple of hallways on the other side of the stage leading to what would be public bathrooms. And it's not too bad. It does smell. You can smell the alcohol from the night before. A little hint of maybe some puke that somebody's might, cleaning up. Some bleach, lots of bleach. And he gets his drink and he starts sipping on it a little quickly. Probably a day drinker, but doesn't really want to quite hint at it.
Uh-huh.
I'm sorry, I forgot. My name is Ruick. And you are?
Rook, I'm Sebastian. Nice to meet you.
Sebastian. Nice. And you?
Crunk.
Crunk. Nice. Okay. So
I guess can I go back and make an insight to see if he's been telling the truth to us this whole time?
yeah, you can insight check anytime.
All right. Roll of an 8, so that's not good, but insight is 10. Yay.
Total of 10?
Total of 10.
Okay. Um, it's a little hard to read through the alcohol. He is um he's got a lot of tell signs that would say that he's lying. But he also looks, kind of day drunk, kind of hungover, maybe even, tired, exhausted, bags under his eyes. Um, it's hard to say because there's so much going on with this dude that he's just a mess. He's a mess.
Right.
So like maybe he hasn't actually seen her in a couple of days. Um, but then again,
Would
neither
he
has
remember
her
if he had?
relative. What?
I said, would he have remembered if he had?
That you would probably have to ask.
No. Sorry, I was making a joke about the day drinking.
Oh. As you asked if he'd seen her, you know, the only sign that was probably the you know, hesitation of her at saying her name. Um but that could have been anything, and with his demeanor, there's a small chance that she might have if she hadn't been, disappeared, she might have left due to sexual harassment.
Uh,
So there's a lot going on with this dude that you're it's hard to tell.
gotcha. All right. Um, do I know if Kronk is a sneaky kind of guy?
Um, with your recent past, it's up in the air.
Uh,
I can tell you in real life, I am not good at sneaking around.
Your character's a monk, right?
Yes,
What is
so he's better.
what's his dex modifier?
Where did you go?
Probably looking
+2.
at
all right.
Really, too? I have a +3. Or maybe okay, never mind. I'll have to look that up on the computer. Anyways, go ahead. What were you thinking? What were you thinking of doing? Let's see if we can play it out.
Well, if I'm not very confident in Kronk's sneaking ability, I probably wouldn't do much. I was thinking of seeing if I could get Kronk to walk around and sneak into the back and see if there's any paperwork or notes or stuff that might belong to her. But
That would require a rogue, considering the hallway that you would think might be leading towards the office is like 8 feet away from you guys behind him.
right. All right. Well, I think I believe him anyway. Do you have an application, or how does?
Oh, this is the application. I really am not. As long as you'll pass the credit check, um, we'll we can start. Hell, we can start tonight if you're available. We don't really have any talent tonight, so it'll be low. It'll be it's not a we don't have a guest DJ or anyone else coming by for at least a couple of weeks.
All right. What time do you open?
Line shows up around 7. But we don't actually open our doors till 8. So I'll need you in probably anytime between that would be great. Closer to the furthest from opening is preferred, because we'll probably need to pair you up with one of our regular staff. But We do have a bit of a uniform, so we'll need to get you. How about you at 6:30?
All right. Sounds good.
Awesome. All right. So we'll see you tonight. I'll pair you up with Hey Ruby. Bartender looks up. Who's working tonight? Tonight you have Mercedes and Vanessa. We'll pair you up with Vanessa.
All right.
So we'll see you tonight, Sebastian.
Okay. Thank you.
Thank you. He picks up his drink and he walks down the hall.
All right.
What do you
Well, I
think?
guess we should get out of here.
Ruby's kind of like, hey, hang on. I need to, if you're going to be working tonight, let me check your credits now because later I won't have time.
Check my credits.
Credits is more of a universal term now, but it's basically a background check.
Ah. Okay.
So she pulls out her a black metal thing that looks like what we would say would be like a Samsung or iPhone. She holds it out and waits for you to put your chip on it.
All right. I throw my chip down.
Okay, your ring registers, lights up, and her screen on the little black box turns on, and it shows up with a 3D blank slate of what would be your face profile. It's not quite filled out, but it does have like your name and all of the other basic information that you may or may not have had before. And she's like, Sebastian, huh?
Uh-huh.
Is that a middle name?
It's the name I go by.
Not a problem. He calls me Ruby, but it's actually Ruthie, but I get it. She kind of puts it back in her pocket. It's like, see you tonight.
Okay. All right.
So you guys leave?
Yeah.
Okay. What do you do when you go out in the bright light of the day? Because I believe when we left off, it was middle afternoon, maybe between 1 and 3-ish. I don't know. I don't remember.
Right. Well, we need to see who this other guy was. I forgot to ask if that was somebody that was seen here regularly, but I guess I'll figure that out.
He said that he was a newer person and they both stopped coming in.
Greg's like, oh, shit, that place is dark. Man. And he's got like what looks like a to-go cup. Because apparently he also got he did get something to drink, but after y'all left.
Right.
So, what's the plan?
Well, we got what, roughly
We'll say you got
4 to
4.5
6
hours. You got 4.5 hours. We'll say it's 2 o'clock.
And how long did it take to get there again from the?
Oh, a lot longer than you wanted it to. It's further than the location that you got the batteries for. but at the same time, when you were going to that location, you were going on foot. This is a trolley, so yeah, it's probably 45 minutes on trolley, whereas the battery place was 30 minutes on foot. So
Hmm.
That could be a hard decision because if we go too far, then we might be late coming back.
Yeah. 6:30. If it's only 3, we've got 2.5 hours.
that's 2. You've got 4.5. But if you do, the math and take out the 45 minutes to wherever you go and come back. Greg is like, what if we asked the mom? Who was she?
You mean the waitress at the other place there?
Yeah,
Oh.
that lady.
Wasn't
What if we asked her about the new boy toy?
Yeah, we can go back there. How long of the trip was it? I can't
From
remember.
there, okay, so every location when I've asked, I've given you an estimate from where you're staying.
Right.
But the Magpie is I think a 20-minute trolley.
Okay.
From where you are, and so of course, and it's kind of like a triangular way distance from where you're staying at the tavern. So like if you were to go 20 minutes to the Magpie, it would still be at least 30 minutes back to where you're staying.
Right.
But yeah, they're closer to each other than they are to where you're staying, basically.
All right.
So it wouldn't take long to go there and ask a few questions and come back. Oops.
Right.
But I thought she said in the initial speaking to her that they had a newer person in town also, and he was coming in there too, but then he stopped showing up.
Was she
Yeah.
talk about a new person?
Yeah, she did. I guess they showed up there a couple of times, had lunch together,
Hmm.
but the aunt said he disappeared too.
Hmm. Interesting.
So she set claimed she didn't know anything about the new boy toy.
Who?
Well, that's what I was saying. She claimed she didn't know anything about the new boy toy. So going back to talk to her wouldn't necessarily do
Get us
anything.
anything?
Yeah, if they don't know anything about the dude, can't really follow that.
Hmm.
Where was Jessica staying at again? With her aunt?
Yeah.
Okay, never mind.
Looks like a cold trail. I don't know. Maybe you'll find something tonight.
Yeah, that's my plan. Is to ask a few questions.
All right. Let's head back to the tavern. I could use something to eat. Do you guys do that, or do you guys want to do something else?
Yeah. Go back, grab some food.
All right. So you go back to the tavern. You take that 45-minute ride back. Maybe get something, big old meal. Maybe you get something light or just some drinks and talk shit with Nikolai, who is, eating, drinking, but also doing business on his chip reader thing, which looks like a what does it look like? Hang on one second, let me think about I don't know. Anyways, he's doing work on his shit. Maybe it's a watch. We'll say it's a watch. It's bigger than a ring, and it's a watch. It's a big old clunky men's watch, silver links everywhere, and he's just telling you everything about his how he got into the trade and how he does his money and how um all that shit. You find out that he also is responsible for the trade of some goods that you are probably gonna need to run into, batteries. He's the one that supplies both shops that you've been to, plus several more. Uh, Also parts, silicone parts, cyber
Mhm.
parts, and he could probably using his name and using him as a as I say before, a what did I say, a go-to guy.
Mhm.
You could probably get a good decent discount on a few things.
He's the it guy.
He's your shared mutual connection. He's probably on the scale, if you were to write him down, he's probably like a 5 and a 5 or a 5 and a 6. Going back to the connections. Let's see if I can remember what those were. Contacts, yes. Oh no, not a 5 and a 5, sorry. The scale is 1 through 6. So he's probably a 4 and a 5, or 4 and a 3. He's his own boss. He's his own, he's technically a CEO of his own shit, but his clients are his boss, technically. So anything that they want, he gets for them. And then, of course, with the 4, his spread is wide. He knows a lot of people. He obviously, because he needs to run his business, he knows probably at least 25 people per city state. A good 10 of them within each main city state capital, and several other people who work under him. He's helped people grow their business, and those people have he's a pretty good ally to have around, for damn sure. Anyways, so time shows up. It's 5:30. Probably want to get there on time, if not early. Nikolai kicks you out because he's like, you don't want to be late, even if the traffic is, you know, decent. You don't want to show up late. You show up 5 minutes after, alone. Ginger, is there anything you want to do on your off time while you're waiting?
Well, I was going to ask how much it was to get into the club because, he could always be in there and
Okay, if you wanted to.
to random waitresses that come up.
Okay. Credits to get
Divide
in.
and conquer.
I'm sorry, what?
Divide
Yeah.
and conquer.
Dividing. I thought you said out of character. I'm like, okay, what do you want to say out of character? Credits is same thing as like bars. But the equivalent of that, I want to say, there's my, so we'll say it's 10 kilobytes, which is like 10 silver pieces.
Okay.
So 10 kilobytes to get in. Make sure you take that off. And if you need to convert, I can tell you what to convert. I think you have
like 4997 or something like that. Because it was 5 gigs, so it's like 499.
You had I'll have to check with you later on that because I have 3 gig minus 3 or 5 gig minus 3 megabytes.
Yeah.
Which would make it
like 4 gigs.
minus 3 megabytes. So it would be 4 gigs, 7 megabytes. So yours would be 4 gigs, 6 megabytes, and 90 kilobytes. They're all in zeros. We'll get it. So yeah, just to get in, that's how much it is. But yeah. All right, so Ginger, you show up with Sebastian. Of course, you're early, so you're the first in line, and the bouncer is not going to let you in.
Oh man.
Sarndell, you show up. The bouncer has been given instructions to let you in, but and he's seen the 3D picture of you, so he knows what to expect, and he lets you right in.
Right.
The location is a little more lively. There's quite a few more people. Like, yes, there's Mercedes and Vanessa, which you're not sure who is who yet, but there's also another 2 other people running around. Looks like they're more for setup purposes, but they might have serve a different purpose. There is a DJ that's setting up at the booth on the stage that you saw earlier. They've got their keyboard, they've got their everything all setting up. They're getting all the sound checks and everything taken care of. Ruby waves at you from earlier. She's like, come on, I need to get you all measured up and dressed for tonight.
Ready to go.
She turns to her bartender. David, can you hold down the stuff for a while? He's like, yep, sure. She takes you to the back, down that hallway that you saw Rurik go back through. And immediately to your left, there is a stairway that goes up, but she doesn't take you there. Down the hall, there's a big old red exit sign, and then there's one door to the left, and then a hallway to the right. She takes you into that doorway on the left. Though from where you're staying, the hallway is not very long. You can kind of see there's a door right there on the other side. And inside it looks like a dressing room. Kind of also like a locker room, because like there's a few benches, several lockers, but they're kind of wide, pretty decent sized lockers. There's about like 8 of them, no, 6 of them. So there's to your right, there's a couple of mirrors, some tall mirrors. There's 2 vanities you can sit down at. And then that are next to those tall mirrors. So it's basically they mirror each other. So there's 2 long mirrors, and then to the right is
No, don't open a portal.
to the right there is it's all on the same wall. On the right there's a desk and chair, and then there's a shorter mirror for doing makeup and stuff, and then on the left side exact same setup. So you could have enough room to stand and look at your dress while somebody else is doing their makeup at a table. There is directly across, there is what looks like a folding closet door, and then to the left in a U shape are 6 lockers. 2 on the far wall. It's in a U shape. There's 2, 4, and 6. And then there's like a couple benches between, and then everywhere else there's like couches and chaise chairs, and there's carpeting. It's all, the long-haired carpet with the long-haired rugs, and it smells nice. It smells like perfume, but it's not, too strong. Maybe a little hairspray. She takes you over to the closet, opens it up, and the floor lights up. Comes out as this kind of like little tiny runway kind of thing going from the closet out, and there's this little circle. And she points at the circle. She's like, stand there for a second.
All right, I go stand on the circle.
And you can kind of see yourself between those 2 mirrors. Your image is sort of split, but there's like two you, or one of you half. She pulls back a clear plastic covering on the side of the wall. She puts her little chip up to it, or no, her little iPhone black. She puts it up to it, and it lights up. A few things beep, and then the lights around you start to protrude up, and you start to get scanned. Your dimensions from your head down to your toes. There's a beam of light that kind of circulates around you, going all the way down. Once it hits your heels, everything kind of stops. The lights go dim, and then she closes one side of the 2 pedals. And then opens it up again. There's a little bit of smoke, probably for looks, but there's a new section of clothing that appears. So everything is hung. There's a few sections for drawers, and you can see a few racks for shoes. There's at least 3 sections that look like this in there, from what you can see from when it opens. Not sure where they come from, back, below, above, who knows. But the hang clothes are to the far right, and then drawer, and then a couple of shelves. And then three patterns just like that. She opens up the drawers, pulls out a vest, some slacks, and they're all folded up nicely, neat, and then a pair of shoes. And she comes over to you and like, this is what you're going to be wearing. You can leave all of this other stuff in the hanging part, where the 3rd section that appeared, there's only hangers, nothing else. But this is what this is your uniform tonight.
All right.
I will make sure that Vanessa knows that you're here.
Thank you.
No problem, Sebastian. She's gonna hold that over you.
Sit.
But she walks out and shuts the door behind her. And when you get dressed, sorry?
And then I change. Yeah.
Did you want to do any inspecting or any looking or snooping?
Sure. Yeah, I'll do a quick little investigation.
Okay. What are you looking at?
around.
There's plenty to look at.
Yeah. I'm just gonna go through like all the different desks and the closet, maybe.
Okay. Closet. There's a bunch of clothing without really having any kind of comparison. It's just clothing. Then there is the desk, the vanity dressers. You look at those. A lot of them are kind of the basic. There's a bunch of makeup here, makeup there. There is a flat drawer underneath the center. One opens up and you see a bunch of photos. Some of them are kind of just laying there flat. A lot of them look like they have little pinholes in the top of them, like they were hung up somewhere at some point. And you notice one of them shows 3 girls standing next to each other. And one of them looks like Vanessa. And the other one looks like your missing girl, Jessica. And the third one, you're not sure who that is. Oh wait, you don't know what Vanessa looks like, so there's 2 girls that you don't know who they are, what they look like, and one of them looks like your girl, Jessica.
All right.
And then it shows on the back, if you flip it over, best friends forever. Love, Vanessa.
All right. So one of the 2 girls is Vanessa, one of our, and then another. Okay.
Yes. Then do you look at anything else? There's also the lockers. Did you want to inspect those?
Yeah, absolutely.
Okay. 3 of them are locked. They have a little keypad, kind of like something you would see at an ATM. So unless you know the numbers, you're probably not going to get into those. One of them's empty. The other 2, one of them still has stuff in it. The other one's kind of empty. It looks like it was maybe abandoned. Somebody took what they wanted and left, or who knows? Maybe one of the other girls decided to put their stuff there and just didn't have a way to lock it. Who knows?
All right.
The one that's not locked, the one that has stuff in it, one of the shirts looks like the shirt that your girl Jessica was wearing in that photo.
Okay.
And there's a few other items in there up on the top shelf. One of them is a book.
Okay. Grab the book and take a look.
Opens up fairly easily. It's piece of paper and pencil, which is, not piece of paper. It's paper and pencil. It's a journal. Kind of unusual in this day and age, but at the same time, some people are very old-fashioned, and some people don't come from a lot of money.
Right.
And you flip through it.
Does that have like a recording feature?
Do what?
Do our chips not have a recording feature?
You do. But at some point you need to store the information somewhere. And then storage can cost money sometimes, depending on where you store it. You can also use a hard drive, which you need to buy a hard drive for.
Right.
There's all those little details that some people might not have stuff to, and some people are very much onto the whole, they don't like the sound of their voice, or they prefer to write things down because then they can think things out, or they like the kinesthetic hand motion that they make when they write. And it could be anything at this point. But you're thinking maybe it's leaning towards the poverty side,
Right.
and she probably, or maybe she, a little nostalgic. Family grew up this way. But it's only half full. The last entry, if you want to look at that, it says, I don't know if I want to be here anymore, but it's definitely not feeling like it used to. I might take Auntie up on her offer to work for her.
All right, and we were talking to her mom, not her auntie, right?
No. Her aunt is so I'll have to double check.
Wasn't she the owner of the Magpie? It was
Yes.
like a deli, an upscale deli.
Yes.
Okay,
And
so
the
I thought we were talking to her mom, but we were talking to her aunt.
Yes. Far as I remember, I haven't mentioned a mom yet. Betty is friends with the owner of Magpie, which is how you got the information. It went from Betty to the aunt to Jessica, who's missing. So she might go work for her aunt.
Okay.
Is the last notes, and it does mention a few things of, the owner is not being as truthful or as front as she thinks he should be, given she's only been there for less than a year, but he is acting strange. And she's thinking that maybe he's acting strange due to her new boyfriend interest, that maybe he's jealous. She doesn't know. She wants to leave before anything gets a little too up there to that point. She does. Do you want to look at any more entries, or is it just the last one that you're interested in?
Well, I'm just gonna pocket the journal and read it later.
Okay. All right. So your uniform that you're wearing is formal, or at least semi-formal. You're wearing a nice pair of slacks, black slacks, some nice shoes. They are kind of reminiscent of the of our what we considered like the swinger shoes, dance shoes, black with the white part on top. And then the vest she gave you is sort of it's more of a corset vest. It is kind of tight. It is kind of pushing you to stand up straighter than normal, but not too much because your posture is probably, military perfect anyways.
Right. Mm-hmm.
It's not for broad shoulder people, so it does kind of seem a little small on the shoulders.
Good thing I'm an elf.
Do what?
It's a good thing I'm an elf.
Yeah, this is true. So it's actually, it fits you perfectly to a degree. You're thinking that maybe that's the reason why you were accepted. If you're a human, maybe he would have turned you away. Which I didn't describe Rurik very well at all, actually. He's human. Very standard style type human, blonde hair, brown eyes, regular build, regular height, nothing too crazy. Maybe a couple of freckles, no scars. He's probably, from a good side of town or whatever. And like I said, aside from the bags under his eyes, maybe some, tired marks here and there. He's just definitely a standard human,
Right.
and probably in his 30s or 40s. So like, getting up there in the human world. And yeah. So yeah. Your vest, corset vest, is the same as the shoes. White in the front with black accents, black around the edging. The ties are black. The not oriental, but the detailed Parts of it are black. And it's made of not necessarily tweed, but it's cotton. It's a nice material. You think that it would probably be a prettier penny if it was, made of silk or something, but this place isn't that kind of uppity.
Right.
Um, and do you put your stuff in the closet, or do you put your stuff somewhere else?
You mean to get dressed?
Yeah, when you take your stuff off, because like you can keep your regular shirt on, which by the way, is your shirt long sleeved?
I don't bother putting a shirt on underneath the vest.
Okay. Um, do you wear anything of your normal stuff? Like I'm assuming
Uh,
underwear, sure, but
yeah. Not really.
okay. So
I
coat and jeans
pocket
and
some of my things, but
okay. Where do you put it?
um, yeah. Well, I'm gonna get like hmm. I guess I can't be carrying any kind of weapons in here, so
Nope.
um, I do have my holy symbol on a pendant on my around my neck, but that's about it.
Okay. Do you slip it underneath the vest?
Yeah.
Okay. Um, we'll just say so for now. Are your clothes folded up on a chair? Did you put them in the closet like she suggested? What do you do?
I'm gonna take a locker, throw stuff in the a free locker, and
Okay, the empty locker. Okay. All right, and then you head on out. Um, Ruby takes a look at you and is like, "Yep, I imagine that's how it would look." All right, so here
I pull
is
my hair back into a ponytail.
nice. Okay, slick back, sweet. Um,
Sarandale's very androgynous anyway, gender neutral.
there you go. Uh, and she looks at you up and down. Look, nice, works. Um, Vanessa, and you see come up towards you, a slender human. She's tiny. But she is the regular 5'5" height of a human. But um she hints at elven heritage, as her shoulders are very small, her hips are very small, waist even smaller. Um and her, she's got those cheekbones that are up, and she seems very like she could go anywhere else and fit in except here. You suspect that maybe she's probably very popular with the attendees to this club.
Right.
Brown hair, brown eyes, nothing too spectacular besides that. But yeah, she comes up. She's like, "So you're the new guy, Sebastian, eh?" And
Yeah.
Ruby kind of chuckles and takes her leave. And she's a regular human. Like, there's nothing. She's blonde hair, blue eyes, and maybe 5'7", a little taller, but um, you know, the same old human as everyone else. um, she does have a thing for the color red, which is probably why the owner calls her Ruby instead of Ruthie, or Ruth as her formal name would be. So Vanessa, she's like, okay, so you're going to be filling in the position for. And she pauses kind of a minute. Jessica. And you're going to be basically catering to the floor here. I and myself and Mercedes, and she points over to a much taller woman, who is probably a woman, but also could be a male in drag. You're not sure. Um, is a little thicker build, so if it was, a cis woman, she's probably got orc heritage. Way, way, way back when. She's, broader shouldered, wider hips, um, straight torso, muscular arms, attractive. But again, like definitely wearing like the heavy makeup and hair is puffed up and everything.
No.
That's Mercedes. We take care of the VIPs upstairs. And there's not going to be too many tonight, so I will be able to help you out around here if it gets too much.
Right.
So are you familiar with the drinks that we serve? She kind of looks at you.
No.
Okay.
And am I working the floor or behind the bar?
You're working the floor.
Yeah.
She says, well, the floor doesn't have too many options. The VIP has a lot more open to them, but even then they're not very diverse in their drink choice. So we serve all of these bottles, and she takes you over to the bartender, the middle section. She shows you around the drinks and everything, and she gives you a little bit of a quick tutorial, and you realize there's probably like 5 drinks that you need to have memorized for tonight. And if anybody asks for anything obscure, just use your chip, record what they want, and then it'll transmute it to the bartender. It's like easy peasy.
Easy peasy.
Gets closer to opening, and Ginger, you've been standing out there for like an hour and a half.
Mm-hmm.
What are you doing, if anything?
Talking to the bouncer, since he won't let me in. We could strike up a conversation.
He's absolutely willing to talk to you as long as you're there. He's had, almost no company, and he's okay with talking to you. He just cannot let you pass that rope, at least not before time and not until you pay. Those are the only 2 stipulations. Otherwise, he's great company. You think that if you were to, try to get past him either way, his demeanor would sour so fast. And he does let you on that, they have been replacing a few staff a little more often than normal lately. Probably the last 2-3 months. They've gone through at least 1 new server a week, maybe. Some he's seen just outright storm out. Others, they just don't show up for the next shift. And he thinks that's he hints that it might be because of the new ownership.
Being bad people.
He's not like the last guy that we had here. The last one was much more friendly, nice. But at the same time, this place really wasn't that busy either because of him. This current the current management, the nights, or the location is almost packed every night. It's not like to the capacity as it could be most nights, but when they are busy, there are nights where there's a line waiting just to get in, and they can't let him in because they are at capacity. And that doesn't happen. Like that's he's been there for 5 years, and that didn't happen before with the older management.
It kind of makes you wonder if they're doing something else too.
He just nods his head. He doesn't say anything. Like he doesn't want to talk bad about his boss. Um, he doesn't quite suspect what you suspect because he doesn't know about any disappearances. But at the same time, like he's not gonna say you're wrong. Um, he's not loyal. We'll say that. Um, any other information or anything else you want to do?
I mean, there really isn't a whole lot to do other than kind of wait.
You could
Is
pay.
when
You could buy a drink if you want to. He will let you have drinks out there.
so well. I have
'Cause,
not owned a bar to do
he's-
that.
He's standing there with a a glass of water. So, like, if you want something, he could probably get you something. Nothing too crazy because, he doesn't want to lose his job, but he can't let you inside.
I'm half tempted to be like, let's get the bouncer drunk.
Oh no, he's gonna be sticking to his water.
Yeah, because he can't. He's got to keep eye.
Like he's already got a
Um,
drink in hand, but he's like, I could probably talk to Ruthie and say, you've been standing out here for a while. As long as you pay for your drink, of course, I think I could get you, something light.
Okay. Yeah, let's just get something light.
Okay.
You don't want the party to end before it begins.
Are you gonna get something with alcohol, or are you just gonna get like soda or something? Or water, or a fruity drink or something?
Like, let's do the fruity drink.
With or with alcohol?
Without.
You sure? You can test out your body. I'm just saying as a DM, like you don't have to.
Yeah. I know it's kind of one of those weird decisions, but then again, if he does drink alcohol and it does still affect him, then he won't remember the information.
Okay, totally up to you.
Let's start off non-alcoholic.
Okay, so he gets you like a pina colada, pineapple, mango mix of some sort of fruity strawberry mix, fruit smoothie. Take out another 10 kilobytes.
Unlock. Okay.
Okay.
So does he bring it back out, or does Ruth?
Yes, Ruth brings it out to you. He does not leave his mark, his post. He will yell through the door, and he will he's not moving.
I want to ask Ruth if she knows if Jessica is working tonight.
Okay. Jessica comes out, or Ruth comes out there. You want to ask her a question when she comes out there?
Yeah, when she comes out to deliver the drink.
Okay. She looks at you. She's like, "Oh yeah, you were here earlier with Sebastian." No,
Mhm.
Jessica is not working tonight. She hasn't been here in a couple of nights.
I wonder what happened to her.
She looks up at the bouncer and then looks at you. Most people, they just quit.
And just got burnt out.
Yeah, basically. Do you want to do an insight check?
Yes, please.
Okay, go for it.
I'm sorry, my hand fell asleep. And it doesn't want to work right now. $18.
Holy crap. You only needed a 10 to pass that one. She is definitely the one person that you want to be asking more questions. You sense with her looking up at the bouncer, she is less loyal than he is. Well, he's loyal to the establishment, not necessarily the boss. She is loyal to no one. She would leave there, um, uh, or anyways, she looks at the bouncer hesitantly, she's got that shifty eye. She's kind of shuffling in her feet, one back from the other, and her shoulders kind of slumped down when you mentioned Jessica's name, and cleared her throat. Her eyes are, not really meeting yours. She's definitely hiding something, but at the same time, you're not sure if it's fear or hesitant because she knows more. Like she wants to tell you, but she's not sure she should. Um, but she's definitely hiding something. And she looks at you. Is there anything else I can get you?
No, thank you. But I will see you after a while.
That's right. I will see you in a few. She looks at the bouncer. What's the time? He looks down at his he also has a wristwatch for a chip holder. Looks like 2 minutes. I'll see you in a few minutes. She kind of bounces and flings around, her blonde hair kind of flipping up. She's got that light hair that kind of goes around wherever she looks, and she walks on out. She's wearing like something similar to what I described that Sebastian's wearing, except she's got a black vest with red lace, and her slacks are kind of closer to a skirt. Though it's like the skirt shorts kind of combination, skirts or whatever. Anyways, so Sebastian, you've been hanging out with Vanessa and she's giving you the ropes and she turns to you. So are you ready? I think we're opening a couple. And she looks and sees Ruthie come walking back in from having a chat earlier.
Yep, good to go.
All right. Well, I gotta go finish setting up my VIP. Like I said, I only got one tonight. Mercedes has two. We'll be around to help you out, okay?
All right, sounds good.
She makes her leave. She's wearing something similar to Ruthie, but red is not the color she chose. Hers is a little closer to the pink side. So as long as it's black, you figure most of the people's attire are going to be similar to what you've got. Yours is white with black trimmings. Maybe it's a gender thing. Maybe it's, who knows? Maybe it's just to say that you're a newbie. But she turns around and goes upstairs. In a few moments, if you're just hanging out, you see her pop in from the back of one of the doors of the second floor. She's moving things around, putting stuff up, and taking care of the area for the VIP. Ginger, while you have been standing out there, 2 minutes till you have at least a good 10 or 20 people standing behind you. In the next, yeah, but in those 2 minutes of waiting before you actually are let in, it fills up even faster. It's like everyone who showed up waiting prior to that showed up maybe 10 or 20 minutes before. but the last 2 minutes it starts filling up really fast. There's like 60 people behind you. The clock changes and the music increases. It gets a little bit louder. He holds out his reader that is, again, another like Samsung iPhone kind of looking thing. You hold up your glove, the light illuminates. He takes the credits that I told you about earlier.
The
He
10.
says, yep, and says, welcome in. Enjoy your stay, or enjoy your night. And you walk on through, first one in. You kind of get an idea that maybe this is what a VIP feels like, because Ruthie waves at you from behind the counter, and then a couple of the other waitresses say hello. Mercedes waves at you, and she's like, "Hi, hon, how are you? Welcome." And she's heading on up over to the bar to grab what she needs for her VIP seating. And Sebastian, what are you doing?
When I see they start letting people in, I keep an eye out for Kronk.
Okay.
And then as soon as he comes in, I go and let him know. I give him the
Journal.
so that he can take a moment to read it. I also point out Jessica, say that there was a picture of our girl and Jessica saying best friends. So try to see if you can get any information out of her.
You mean Vanessa?
Vanessa, yeah.
Yeah, the girl is. I know. I'm sorry, I chose wrong names, Jessica and Vanessa. But Jessica is the woman who's missing. Vanessa is the one who showed you around, and Ruth is, of course, behind the counter.
Right.
Did you take the photo?
Yeah.
Okay, so you took the photo from the drawer. Okay. So yeah, Ginger, or Kronk, as you walk in, the lights, of course, are dark. They have not changed from before to after. It's the same setting, nothing different. The lights on the floor are probably a little bit brighter, and the DJ, of course, has started playing some music, and the lights are kind of going in and out with the time of the song. It's very hip hop, but also very electronic house music. And there is Sebastian standing over there, close to the bar, but not too far, wearing a nice tailored outfit, slacks, shoes, and a vest corset that laces up in the back. It is white, and it looks very, very snug. And what are you wearing? Are you wearing your monk, your like brown cloth draped over your chest kind of thing?
Wait, we changed the look a little bit. Let's just
Or
go with right now, because I was trying to remember what he looked like.
I remember your photograph, but
something.
No, you have a jacket. You have a leather. You like a leather
Yeah,
jacket.
that's what
Right?
I was
Sorry, I
thinking.
forgot. Yeah. So you're wearing jeans and a shirt and a leather jacket. Okay, just to keep that visual going. And your hair is kind of short, right?
Yeah, it was
The short
about ear length. It was like medium short.
ear, jaw length. Yeah.
Mhm.
So Kronk comes walking in, and you are handed a journal, and on the inside is a photo that has, like, safe, not push pin holes through it on different edges. Do you hand it to him and he just like slips it in his pocket and keeps it?
For right now, yes. That way it can be taken out of the building also.
Okay.
And I would let Sebastian know that he needs to buddy up with Ruthie, and get the new hire gossip.
Okay. Um, people come shuffling in. There's people, all different types. Everyone, there's no discrimination, or at least that what it looks like as far as race, ethnicity, gender, etc. There is an attire, so everyone who comes in shuffling in is a little bit fancier than Kronk, but not as fancy as the staff. Somewhere in between. So you think anybody who has any like torn jeans is probably going to be turned away. Mercedes comes, going past you guys, and she escorts, a couple, and they go to the back, probably going up to the VIP. And anything else you guys want to do in your time here?
So do they pick where they're seated, or can we just assume Krunk has been seated in Vanessa's section?
You don't have a VIP, so you are anywhere you want to be. There are seats at the bar that they're not like there's not a lot of seating at the bar, but there's a couple of chairs that you could probably grab as an early person. But for the most part, it's standing. It's all standing on the first floor. There might be some chairs and tables in the back corners. Again, first come, first serve, first floor. So if you wanted to, take a seat from one of those, you could, but you probably won't see much considering like everyone is going to be standing and dancing in the center. Probably it's basically a club kind of atmosphere. If you wanted to have a good view of everything without compromising height or whatever, you probably would want to sit at the bar.
Okay.
There is a second floor, right?
Yes, there's a second
Yeah.
floor, but it's all
It's
upstairs.
VIP.
Yeah, it's all VIP. There's from standing on the floor looking up, 8 booths, 4 on either side. They're pretty wide considering that all 4 take up the entire length of the club. There might be, there's a little room in between each one with the walls, and then of course, you suspect there's like a hallway in behind. But yeah. There's some room, like it's not just a booth, but there's booth and there's space for dancing. There might be a mini fridge for water or whatever. And there's a couple of them that have curtains, so that are kind of pulled back. Maybe for private venues or something, or private parties.
Well, I was more meaning like I was trying to get in the vicinity of where Vanessa would be working, but I'm assuming they just kind of walk the floor and take orders as they go.
Yeah, Vanessa, having a conversation with Sarndell, you get that Vanessa's going to be up and down and around everywhere. She's got the only section off area that she has is a VIP upstairs. Otherwise, the rest of the time, it's a free for all. It's whoever has who. It's helping customers. If somebody's going to be, somewhere, that's where the waiter or waitress goes to help that customer. It's not necessarily, I've got the left side of the room, you've got the right kind of thing.
Okay.
So you could probably catch her running around, but you're probably safe just staying at the bar because they're all going to get their drinks from the bar, regardless of who they serve or where.
Okay. Well, and then I could always talk to Ruthie again.
Yep.
So I think I am going to be near the end of the bar.
Okay.
Where they would be
Towards
picking
the
up the drink.
entrance. Where
Pardon?
towards the entrance or towards the hallway?
I would say towards the entrance because that would be closer to the people, but also where everybody comes to pick up the drink.
Yes. That is the closest place both to the entrance exit and well, there's two exits technically. Yeah. So basically you're 15 feet from the front door. You're on the corner of where all the waitresses get their drinks, but also, you've got a good chair. You can see the whole area pretty well. Sebastian, you obviously you there are some people who show up, they're regulars, they're going to start talking to you, interviewing you technically, because they want to know who the new person is. You get a few looks at both guys, girls, non-binaries. They all there are several people who don't pay attention to you as well. They just kind of walk by. They're here for the atmosphere. They don't care who's here or who's not. Um, Everyone wants to know, not everyone, but a lot of people want to know who the new guy is. So, you know, you're being chatted up, and there's a good, number of people talking to you. A lot of conversation. Any nerves you might have had, they're probably gone by now.
Right.
So we'll say after 15, 20 minutes, the DJ is hollering, trying to get everyone's attention, especially, away from the new guy. Wants everyone dancing, do his job, get everyone drinking, of course.
I'm also, feeling around if people are regulars, and if they are, if they know the missing girl.
Roll a investigation check.
Investigation of 15.
Whew. Okay, so you run into a guy who is asking where Vanessa or Jessica is. What's happened to her? Where's she going? Is she coming back? He's a regular for sure. And he's probably one of Jessica's regulars, if not, showing up specifically, to see her.
Right.
He doesn't give you his name, but he is, interested in seeing her come back. He wants to, continue giving her his money. Do a insight check.
The roll of an 18, so that makes 20.
Holy shit. He is a customer and customer only. He is not creepy. He's not the, kidnapping type. He's not the obsessed, kind of person. He is definitely just a client who really likes to see her happy. Maybe he's propositioned her once or twice, but he's probably been respectfully declined, and just wants to enjoy his time there. And you fill him in. Do you fill him in on anything?
I do ask if he's seen the and has a description of the guy that she has been talking to.
Oh yeah, he's definitely seen this dude. Actually had a beer or two with him once. Nice dude. New in town, of course. But really kind of small townish, kind of like her. They've had a few drinks together, kind of made it easier for her to serve as well, so that she can just go to the same location, same table with her two favorite customers and stuff. But they don't always drink together. There are times where he's there and the other dude's not, and he gets to enjoy Jessica's company all by himself. But nice guy, nice dude, and thinks that they're interested in each other romantically, and if they are, best of luck to them. Hopes to maybe get invited to the wedding if that's going to happen, but otherwise, Yeah, not really much more information that he can give.
Okay. Well, I mean, having a excuse me, with a description and all that.
Do what?
I said, well, I take the description with and all that.
Right. He describes the dude to you because like he gives like um proper details, which um I'll revisit next time. I believe I gave those just details last time. I'll have to check. But yeah, like had a couple of drinks with the dude, and is definitely he thinks the guy's really nice, and you would probably be a really good fit for Vanessa or Jessica. Sorry, I'm doing it now. Um,
Uh,
Probably be a really good fit for Jessica. If because he's more interested in being Vanessa or Jessica's sugar daddy
right.
than being a partner. He's up there. He's a little older. He's got gray showing. He's probably in his 50s. Um, but he wants to see Jessica live a good life. Um, he doesn't see her as fitting in with this crowd. So like, maybe he's got a little bit of a white knight syndrome going on with her. He wants to rescue her, get her out of this place, but also kind of in the fatherly aspect. Um, but either way, he's definitely a nice guy, definitely a good dude, and concerned for her well-being. Concerned, she just upped and left without saying anything to what he thought maybe would have been her favorite customer.
Okay.
Um, if you ask him anything about quitting, he says that if she was to planning on quitting, she's definitely the type to give her notice, and not just up and leave overnight.
Does he know maybe where this guy works or lives?
He said, dude was looking for work. Um, Last he heard, might have gotten a job at her aunt's place, um the Magpie. But he's not sure. He knows he's been there, and he himself, the customer, has gone there a couple of times on the dude's suggestion. Great place, good food. Um, but other than that, he's not really seen the dude um, outside of that bar, and definitely not in the last couple of days.
Okay.
Okay. Anything else?
Kronk want to take over for a bit?
Do what?
So I'm just asking if Kronk has anything they want to
Right,
do.
yeah. Kronk, did you want to do anything besides sitting at the bar? Or do you want to talk to Ruthie again? It is getting darker. I mean, not darker. Well, yeah, outside it is getting darker. Um, Lights are getting brighter. Music's getting a little louder. Crowd is getting thicker.
Since it's starting to get busier, I did want to talk to Ruth. But I try to get her attention to ask her what time she got off work.
She looks at you. Well, I am the first shift, so I will probably get off here. So since it's getting darker and it's getting thicker, there are a lot more people shuffling in. We're talking 7:38 by now. And she's been there since 2. She's like, I'll probably get off in like a couple hours, 11. My relief is already here, and she points down, nods towards the end of the bar where you see another woman wearing something similar to hers, probably closer on the burgundy side instead of bright red like hers. And another human looks just like her, almost. Different hairstyle, different cheekbones and stuff. She probably is human through and through. Um, And she's like, yeah, I'll probably be off in about 2 hours or so. And she looks at you. She's like, you're. She looks at you. She's like, you know, sometimes I go over to this place for after-hour drinks called. Oh, fuck. Hang on, let me find a place. Tavern. Oh, we'll just say fuck it. I'm gonna find it. Where the fuck am I? We'll just say like the Gray Swan. After hours, I go to the Gray Swan. It's out of the way, but they have some really good, like, they have some really good food. Have you heard of it?
The Gray Swan is at the aunt's place, right?
No, that's the place where you guys have
that's
your
the
place.
Oh, right.
This place where you're staying is the Gray Swan.
Ah,
I have. That's actually where I'm staying.
Oh yeah, I heard it's also an inn. Never really stayed there. But it is it's close to a friend's place, so I usually if I go over there to eat, I'll stay at her place.
Well, would you want to grab a bite later?
Sure, I'd love to. And you hear from down the bar, Ruthie, coming.
Good
So
luck on your shift tonight.
Oh, thank you. And she leaves. Goes over and helps out, fills out a few other drinks.
I was trying to keep watch to see Vanessa, to catch Vanessa when she came to the bar.
Gotcha. Okay. Sarndell, you get a couple of drink orders. And you head over to the bar area where Vanessa is heading towards as well. And so
okay.
all three of you converge at the same spot, or roughly. And Vanessa asks, "How's your night?"
Yeah, doing pretty good.
Good.
Did I make any tips?
So you're given a little black piece of or black electronic, just like the other girls, and it's where you keep your orders, keeps your payroll and everything like that. So all the orders that get taken through that, everyone puts their chips, however it is, whether it's a necklace, ring, pendant, glove, wristwatch, earring, etc. And they pay through that, and then the tips get updated throughout it, throughout the night. So at this point, we're about 45 minutes to an hour into your shift, with a few drinks taken. I want to say you've gotten probably here. Let me roll for that. Let's roll. Let's do a die roll. Let's do percentage. Good old-fashioned die roll. So you've gotten 3, 73. I don't want to have any odd numbers because that's weird. So we'll do 70 kilobytes and 3 megabytes. Which is a really good tip. The 3 megabytes.
Mm-hmm.
And then the 70 kilobytes, which is kind of on the cheap side, but it came from one person. And it's 1 hour in, so like, at that rate, who knows? You could have 10 times that much, which it's not great, but it's not bad.
Sweet.
We're talking like probably equivalent of, let's see what is like in cash, because that's like anyways, we'll figure that out. Anyways, so yeah, 3 megabytes, 70 kilobytes, and that's just your first hour. And she's not impressed, but she's happy for you. That's a good amount. And yeah.
Do I get a lot of time next to Vanessa? Do we get any kind of conversation?
Oh yeah. You've got. I mean, we'll say you've got 5 minutes.
I think we were planning on doing the same thing.
All right.
Because you both are waiting on drinks to be made, and it's a couple of cocktails, a couple of beers, a couple of this and that and the other. So yeah, you've got some time.
So I would lean over toward Vanessa and be like, "It's a busy night tonight, isn't it?"
Oh no, not more than usual. It's probably a slow night for regular week. It's okay.
That might be why I haven't seen her. She may not be scheduled tonight.
Who?
I was looking for Jessica. I was trying to catch up with her. I haven't seen her in a while.
Oh really? You know Jessica?
More know her aunt, but I do know Jessica a little bit.
I see. Yeah, no, she hasn't been here. I don't think she's scheduled for a couple more nights if she does come back.
Oh, why wouldn't she come back?
I think she's been tired of this place. Most girls don't really last. I've been here for 2 years, and like this industry it gets tiring on you. And I've had a few different employers. This one I've probably stuck out the longest.
Okay. Do you know how I could get a hold of her?
Her aunt's probably the best connection.
Well, thank you.
Sarndell, do you ask Vanessa anything or add on to that? Since you're within hearing range.
No, I think that's good for now.
Okay. Vanessa gets her drinks and she walks off. It is after 1, so let's speed up and we'll pick up next time. So the night, let's see, what do you do, Kronk? Do you stay and wait till Sarndell's shift is over? Or do you probably convene with Ruthie at the
At the Grace one.
Okay, so I'm gonna put a pin in that. Grace one. 10 p.m. Well, 10:45. We'll make it a good even 11. Takes her a few minutes to get off work, and she heads there and gets there at 11. And then you can tell me whether you show up early, like if you get off exactly at 10, if you if you want to be there when she arrives, or if you want to leave with her, maybe. What say you?
I figure leave with her. That way we can take the same trolley.
Okay.
And pay for her trolley fare ride.
Okay. Okay. All right. So you're leaving with her at 10. And then you'll have a trolley ride, which you can have a conversation there on the way back. Sarndell, your shift started at 6, and since most of their shifts are 8 hours long, but you're new, so you get that extra hour and a half. Let me do. Hang on, I'm going through my dice. 8. Let's see. Let's say you work a 10-hour shift, so you're 6 to 4, 6:30 to 6:30 to 4. We'll do 6:30 to 4. Let's see. What do you? Okay. You end up with 19 gig and 35 meg. I believe that's what I want. Yes. You end up with a total of 19 gig and 35 megabytes.
Yeah.
And that's total tips and your hourly wage. As they pay out as soon as you're off, because we're in the future.
Yay.
There is no 2-week wait for payroll shit.
Sweet.
All right, so you've added that to your inventory? Cool. So when we get back, we will start with Kronk and Ruthie and their conversation on the trolley way back to the Gray Swan. And then we'll have Kronk or Sarndell show up after the conversation. Or at least, 4 a.m.
Right.
Okay. Sweet.
Ow, 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 ow.
We good?
Yep.
Alrighty, you guys have a good night.
You too.
I'll see you in 2 weeks.
Okay.
Okie dokie. Bye.
Bye.
Bye.